In what way has the music industry changed over the years regarding how we produce, use, and listen to music?
Woof. The music industry has changed fundamentally. I feel like every 10 or 15 years or so, the industry makes a complete revolution. Years ago, you were talking maybe like a few thousand pieces of music released every year. Now I think the number is 60,000 recordings every day are released on the internet.
So it started out as something very analog, but as more and more platforms got invented, more and more technology got invented, as a music creator, it's incredibly difficult if you're an artist to make ends meet.
Ready. Wait, I lied, sorry. Sorry. Music is everything to me. It is my peace and my safest space to be completely honest and as expressive as possible. Like most R&B artists, I started in the church. So I grew up in a church that my grandparents founded. And my grandfather was the pastor, and my mom was the worship leader, choir director, everything music related. So yeah, I did different things like background vocalist. I'd already been doing a lot of work, and so they had heard what I'd already been doing, and it's just yeah, just keep doing that. That was the first thing that I was introduced to at Epidemic Sound was the people, and so that kind of drew me in the most. And then great advice from A&Rs that work with Epidemic. I mean, I trust everyone's opinion about what to do with certain songs, or if there's changes that they suggest being made. My music is being introduced to people who would normally not find my music, but because there's such a great connection with content creators and that kind of thing, it's good to have my music introduced to a wide audience. Survive the distance. Don't know what we're missing, but there is a space between us, and I know healing ain't instant, but can we survive the distance?
15 years ago, there were 5 of us who had a common denominator in Sweden. And so we stumbled upon 2 problems that we felt needed solving. The first was, as content creators, we knew that adding music to content was crucial. It's the equivalent of adding taste to food. It's like umami. Yet that wasn't the case. Adding music to content was intimidating, complicated, non-tech, non-transparent. Now on the flip side, we had the artists. And there was this model around music which was royalty. And on paper it was great. But over the years it turned out the royalty model didn't really work. And we realized that if we connect these two, if we have incredibly talented artists and incredibly talented storytellers, and just have a thin membrane of technology between the two, that could unlock and enable huge amounts of creation of insights and data and wealth and prosperity for both parties. So that's what we try to do.
Epidemic was founded to soundtrack the world. That's our mission. We're making music that does super well on content, but is so good that we're confident if we publish it on streaming services, it's also going to be commercial music. It's 40,000 plus tracks, 90,000 plus sound effects, and again, I think one of the highest quality fit for purpose catalogs of music on the planet. Unlike most people in the field, we pay upfront for music, and it's not an advance, it's not a loan. We pay a fixed fee for a fixed amount of time and effort that goes into a track. On top of that, when we distribute their music on streaming services, we split all of that revenue 50-50 with them. We also have something called the soundtrack bonus, which is a royalty pool that rewards folks whose music is used best within our creator community. And on top of all of that, we give all of our artists the opportunity to invest in Epidemic Sound on the same terms employees do. So we produce music based on the needs of creators really by listening to them. We have an unprecedented footprint online, and our ability to get back information about how our music is used is super, super helpful to understanding what types of music are working well and what isn't. And on top of that, we have really great relationships with big YouTube channels, big content creators, big enterprise companies that are clients of ours, and having that direct relationship makes it really, really easy actually to figure out what it is that content creators need.
I have a YouTube channel about filmmaking, so I teach people how to edit videos, how to film videos, in a very accessible way. I actually found Epidemic Sound very early on in my content creation journey, I would say. So I felt like Epidemic Sound was very accessible, and that is definitely a plus because you get so many songs, you get like over 90,000 sound effects, and that is very, very helpful for any starting creator, but also now seasoned creator.
Epidemic Sound is very creator focused. So we have a community program that focuses on career-focused creators. 70% of content creators create revenue through advertising. 60% generate revenue on brand sponsorships, and 30% generate revenue through affiliate links, whether they're big or they're small or just like starting out. Our community space gives them the freedom and the ideas to basically generate those content ideation, to generate communication as well with their fellow creators. So for us, it's important for us to engage with our community and then for them to engage and talk to each other as well. Because like there's always this spark of creativity when creators meet.
One of my favorite features about using Epidemic is their new feature, and it's called Ear, and then you can not just find similar songs, but if there's a little bit in a song that you really like, you can select that, and then Epidemic Sound will give you suggestions of songs that will sound similar based on that little bit that you've selected, so you can be way more precise and way more selective now.
Imagine that you have content where you could use AI to suggest what would be appropriate. So that's a feature we launched called Sound Match. We can then index basically everything that we've ever soundtracked. We know what the internet sounds like. And so we know that, this is a dune buggy, this is a desert. These are the 10 most prolific tracks that could probably do a great job of telling that story. So imagine having an always-on AI music supervisor that helps you automagically with everything. We think that's a very compelling offer.
If you would have told people 10, 15 years ago that streaming would have been the #1 way people are consuming music, I don't think anyone would have believed you. And now with content creation becoming even easier, with it being re-democratized as we call it, with everyone having access to tools to create music and video, I think that's really the future of artists getting found and discovered. It's not so much through traditional channels like radio or playlists, it's through storytellers, and it's through storytelling.
I personally believe that when everything is said and done, future generations are going to look back at our generation and they're going to tilt their head, pop an eyebrow, and probably say that, there's one thing that your generation is famous for. Your enduring contribution is that you invented the internet. It's at the center of what all future generations depend upon. If that was our generation's defining moment, how did we contribute? And we said to ourselves, what if we can be the company that helps bring our species' oldest tradition, the tradition of storytelling? That's something that drives us. That's how we want to participate. And that's a massive, massive opportunity, but also a responsibility. But it's one that we're up for.